All right, Iranian Minister of Foreign Affairs Abbas Araghchi has said that good progress has been made in indirect nuclear talks with the United States. Is that an indication that Iran is weak and ready to do a deal, as stated by President Trump? Weak and ready to do a deal, as stated by President Trump.
Well, it's more or less. It's more or less both sides of a coin. Both sides of a coin, speaking that there is a weakening of the current regime. Speaking that there is a weakening of the current regime, because the recent protest that greeted the recent protest that greeted Iran as a result of the resurgence of the conflict between America, result of the resurgence of the conflict between America and Iran, helped to
efforts.
Iran helped to
efforts at diplomatic talks, and I'm wondering how difficult that would make this negotiation. And I'm wondering how difficult that would make this negotiation.
No, of course, when trust has broken down, you remember. No, of course, when trust has broken down, you remember that part of the distrust came as a result of the CIA distrust came as a result of the CIA-backed regime change. It's because one of the vital points that super states have used to invade weaker states in quotes or reckless states in quotes is the question of human rights abuse. They will always play it up and advantage because of the U.S. support of Iraq during the Iraq-Iran conflict. So the United States will continue to dominate and impose its
issues or matters you think will become red lines in this negotiation?
Well, you know, part of the challenge Iran is having with the U.S. Is the succession of sanctions that have destabilized and brought some form of fault lines within its development plan. So Iran stands risks of facing tougher sanctions. You know, in this type of negotiation, there will be some threats of denial, threats of isolation, which no state desires to be put into, as it were. So I think that more pressure will be mounted. They will be compelled eventually to negotiate the non-negotiable areas, to review the areas, like they call it, the no-go areas will become a go-to or to-go areas eventually. They will almost have no choice, not because they don't have a right, but you see, there are international laws that govern weaponry, ballistic missiles, and all the, what do you call it now, the other forms of extreme weapons. There are laws that govern them. So the Iran, yes, has said, well, we can only discuss the issue of the nuclear energy, but we will not discuss others. But if it is in the option or in the opinion of America that they want to discuss those areas that will regulate Iran's hold or reason for sustaining their stance in their relationship with the U.S., America will place them under more pressure through sanctions. And I think there will be ground shifting eventually. Because as it stands today, Iran is losing a whole lot of support base because America is also building further alliances and laying hold on Iranian neighbors that will compel Iran, because where do they run to? And let me say this about the current trend of international relations and politics. If you think China will come to your rescue, you're lying. Or Russia will come to your rescue. They can issue statements condemning what the US is doing, but Russia and China will never be on an arms collision course with the US. So everybody has to negotiate his survival at this point.
Absolutely. And we know that President Trump is going to be in China, I think sometime this month or next month. So he's also looking to strike better relations with China as well. So thank you so much for your time. International law expert, Livingstone Wechi.